Good morning. May we all rise to welcome the Executive Mayor. Thank you very much. We may be seated. Well, good morning, Molweni, Goeiemorgen, Dumelang. I now officially declare the session open. And may I acknowledge the Executive Mayor together with his best partner, the First Lady, Mrs. Pagati. May I at the very same time acknowledge the presence of the Premier of the Eastern Cape Province, Honorable Pumulo Maswale, together with the MECs, the Deputy Executive Mayor, the Chief Whip of the Council, the House of Traditional Leaders led by the Deputy Chairperson, Chawe, Prince Namaje. May I at the very same time welcome the members of the Mayoral Committee, the councillors of Buffalo City, the traditional leaders, the members of parliament, the members of the provincial legislature, the leaders of political parties, our religious leaders, officials from Buffalo City Metro, led by the city manager, Mr. Andile Sihlahla. The officials from Buffalo City, the officials from other government departments, the honorable guests, all the citizens of Buffalo City, the media, all and sundry, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great honor for me on behalf of Buffalo City Metro to welcome you all in this occasion. This is a moment for us to listen and share an important information from the State of the Metro address to be presented by the Executive Mayor of Buffalo City, Councillor Xola Phakathi. Let us relax and enjoy this marvelous opportunity. But may I ask from the very onset that we need to obey the rules at all times. Your maximum cooperation will be highly appreciated throughout the program. I will now, without wasting time, invite the interfaith religion to come and open this session with prayers. Over to you. I will ask them to come to the podium one by one. May I ask the Muslim Mulana Khalid.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كل أمر لا يبدأ فيه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فهو أبتر, which simply means each and every occasion that is not begun with the mentioning and the praising of the Almighty, it is not and devoid of all the blessings. Respected elders, honorable dignitaries, dear friends, I greet you all with the universal greeting of Islam, which is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. The meaning of which will be, may the peace and blessings of the Almighty be with all of us here. I must say I'm very grateful and feeling very honored to have this opportunity to address us. On the same note, I want to make sure that we all understand that this is not a lecture or an academic thesis. I say this because I possess no credentials to conduct either one of the two. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm neither here to perform a critique nor use this platform for finding faults or pointing fingers. What I have been asked to speak about when I left the office was to say a few words as regards the measure of leadership. So therefore, it is my hope, wish, and prayer that those in office right now are not going to feel as if my intention is to lambast or roast them. No, as a matter of fact, I don't even have them in mind. I'm just attempting to flick the match in order to turn the lights all the way. This I'm doing in order to provide us all, most of whom are followers, with a reference to somehow inspire our leadership with something to put down in history that is a legacy. In doing so, we want to suggest to them a paradigm that they can both inspire and measure themselves with. Ladies and gentlemen, let's first look at the definition of what a leader should be. If I were to begin asking each one of us that is seated here as to what they think a leader is or how should a leader be, I'm most certain that each one of us would give their own definition. And I wouldn't like to discredit any of those definitions, but the one that I like the most is that a leader is an ordinary person with extraordinary responsibility and extraordinary sets of circumstances. As a leader, one is expected to, number one, have courage and be strong. Not just strong physically, but he must have strong moral values. He also should have courage to speak about that which is unpopular and to have morals that force him to sacrifice for the cause, place the welfare and prosperity of those people that he leads above those of his. If we take a step further and look at different categories of leadership, we come across, number one, peculiar leadership, extraordinary leadership, and phenomenal leadership. If you please allow me, ordinary leadership just do the usual and nothing more. These come in dimes and dozens. Peculiar ones are the pivots. They come out of the context of what is normal. It is for everyone to judge for themselves who fits this category. As I've just said, my intention is not to come and stand here in order to lambast or roast anyone. We take a step further and look at the extraordinary leadership. These are visionaries who envision the brighter future, the big brains, activists and diplomats. A step further, if we take a look at the phenomenal ones, these are above extraordinary, with extraordinary sets of morals and phenomenal sets of guidelines, as well as connection and commitment to the masses. Ladies and gentlemen, most leaders the world over start off with very good intentions, based upon solid, reasonable justifications, but somehow human desire with immoral fire blends inside or under the leader, thus corrupting him. History has got a way of closing doors, so when one chooses or does anything, let that be a right, because history will document and the future generations will judge what one does now based on evidence. One who has been chosen to a position of leadership must show his commitment and responsibility. The fruit of this will be accountability and loyalty of the followers. He must shoulder responsibility for every decision he makes. He mustn't go to bed and hasn't weighed his conscience for the decisions he made on behalf of the people he leads. If anyone knows of his shortcomings regarding his leadership, he shouldn't feel in any way that I'm insinuating something whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I don't have anyone in mind. As for us followers, because as they say, it takes two hands to clap, we address the leadership. Now let us turn our focus to us, the masses, the followers. As for us, we need to appreciate our good leaders. There is no need to have a leader replaced if he is delivering on his mandate. This, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the conclusion of my comments. Please, let's go back to our basics. We all know what our initial and original vision is. Although we haven't reached our promised land, we know very well that we have been to the mountaintop. Some didn't and will not get there, but we are all for it. So we must keep on working And as we walk, we must make a pledge that we shall always march ahead and never turn back, at the same time united for the good cause. We indeed thank and praise the Almighty for the countless bounties He bestowed upon us. Whomsoever He guides, no one can lead astray. And whomsoever is led astray by their own desires, no one will be able to guide them if the Almighty has not chosen so. We seek refuge in Him and ask Him to guide and guard our words and actions. We beseech Him to protect our leaders from deceiving and being deceived, from misleading and being misled, from being corrupt and being corrupted. We ask Allah the Almighty to assist them in discharging their obligation. May the Almighty protect us all, give us good health and prosperity till the end of time. I thank you all. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. We thank the Muslim for the prayer. I don't have powers to really cut time, but just to sensitize our elders to please consider time. I will now invite the Hindu, I can't read here, but it's Guru Gopal Vyas.
Hari Om Badram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devam Badram Pashyemakshabhirjatraha Sthirairangaistusthu Vagusasthanubhirvyashemahi Devahitan Jadahayo Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyanto Ma Kaschid Dukhamapnayat Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. I pray to Supreme Paramatma to bring the peace, unity, happiness, and joy in all human being life. As we pray today to Paramatma, Supreme God, Almighty God. As we say, Hinduism says, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, means may all bless with good health, may all bless with prosperity. And then Hinduism believe Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. As today's theme is mentioning unity in actions. Unless we stay as a family, Vasudhaiva, whole world is a family. And if we live as a family, then we unite. I would like to take opportunity to say thank you to inviting me and allowing me in this occasion to perform the prayer. As in Hindu, we end with says, Namaste and thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you very much. Let's thank the Hindu faith. We will, without wasting time, now invite Inkolo Yakwantu, Mr. Reimbasha.
Makasitheni Qamaka inqanga nentsibazayo indwalo utho zonke ezikhona sizawunqula sicamagushe siyanqula emilanjeni siyanqula emahlathini siyanqula emalwandle siyanqula ezinhlantini siyanqula ezintabeni kwenze njalo kucela umdali uqamata abe kunye nathi endleleni esihambayo siyacenga kuzihlole zonke ezikhona namhlanje siyacenga kwimimoya yonke ephilayo Sinqula ke sicamagusha sicenga zonke ezo sihlwele. Sicenga lo mimoya yabantu abamkayo bekuyo le kansile ibhunga lalapha sixeko esimbaxa. Sicenga imimoya yabo bakhokheleyo. Sinqula ke sicamagusha xa senze njalo. Sicenga izikhalo zencamazane emakhayeni ethu. Sicenga iphunga lempepho eliqhumsela abalele ukuthula. Sesithi siyakuyiqhumisa kubonakale kuvuleka. Bakhona ukukhanya kudede ubumnyama. Ngenye ixesha bungadedi koko kusuke. Ukunqula ke kucamagusha toza kwethu. Masithathe lithuba sinkolo kanti sibulele ukuba nathi simenyiwe namhlanje. Inkunzi into zakwethu kukubuyela embo, ukubuyela endulo apho sisuka khona. Uba singaqwalasela ngoku mhlambi kwingxaki esinazo, ungafumaniseka ukuthi isisombululo sikhona kwinkolo kantu. Ezi zinto akufunanga sizenze ngobumnyama. Xa silapha sicenga imimoya yokhokho, imimoya yabaqulunqi bombutho omkhulu, kuthi nalapho bakhona ze besoloko benjalo besinyukutya sizokwazi ucinga apho sisuka khona. Siyacamagusha ke ndanqula ndincuba noJawu Qhanqolo uhlomla ibhuthi lijala nempondo nyembezi uNtswethu uGeorge uSikhaluteko umbizana umsolo bentongo mabombo. Ndiyanqula koJeorge uSikhaluteko umbizana umsolo bentongo mabombo. Makudede ubumnyama kuvela ukhanya. Camagwini.
Well, thank you very much. Siyayibulele inkolo yakwantu. Unfortunately, for those who can't hear Xhosa, I don't have the capacity to interpret because that's a Xhosa. I'm very sorry about that. We will, without wasting time, now invite the Christian faith to be represented by Pastor Cingile Bleki to please come to the podium.
Ndivumele somlomo nam ndithi nqanga nentsiba zayo. Phambi koba sithandaze simcele uThixo ongumdali wezulu nomhlaba abe nathi. Ingqondo yam itsalwa ngulombhalo ulapha ngaphandle kwesi programs. The statement that says unity in action, a city hard in work. Yandinika into ethi phaya kulaa ncwadi yesibini kaMoses umfo kaThixo, ncwadi ye-Exodus, ichapter phaya ngu-17. Ifundeka ke ngolu hlobo. Kwathi xa aziphakamisayo uMoses izandla kweyisa uSirayeli. Kwathi xa azihlisileyo izandla kweyisa uAmaleki. Izandla zikaMoses zadinwa. Bathabatha ilitye balibeka phantsi kwakhe wahlala kulo. Bathi oAarone noHure bazixhasa izandla zakhe, omnye ngapha nomnye ngaphaya, zazimaseka izandla zakhe. Eli ke lilizwi likaThixo. Nkosi yoxolo, Nkosi ehlele emazulwini, mayikusikelele ukufundwa kwelizwi layo ngoku nangona phakade. Amen. Xa sizawuthandaza somlomo ndakuthi zazimaseka izandla zakhe. As the statement says itself, that unity in action This is what has been reflected in this passage that I've just recently read. Because Amasrael, incwadi zengqiqo ubuthixo ziyavumelana kwinto enye ethi apha mandlangisa, they were in a land between lands. And their journey was on time between times. They were not yet there, but they were journeying together to the promised land. Kunto yonke uThixo awayenzayo, wamnceda uMoses wasebenzisa a weapon. uMoses naye wayeyozelela xa ijongile. By the time uThixo wathi kuMoses, Moses, ndikuvile ukukhala kwabantu bam. Yithi kubo, I've come down to deliver them. And Moses, njengomntu wangenwa luloyiko, what am I supposed to say when ndifika kuFaro? What uThixo kuMoses? Moses, tell Pharaoh only one thing, that undinguye undithumile to deliver his people. It was the same weapon. Waxa efika kulwandle olubomvu, wathi uThixo yintoni isesandleni sakho? Wathi uMoses, intonga. Then uThixo wamnika ubuqili bokuba abethe elwandleni olubomvu, lwavuleka ulwandle olubomvu ngapha nangaphaya, anqumla amaSirayeli. Siva ke le nto le xa bengaphesheya emveni kokuba uMiriam eqambe ingoma entsha, ngoba uqamba ingoma lisiko likaThixo. Waxa sithi basivuma ingoma sibulela ubungangamsha bukaThixo, wemisa uMoses. What? Misani ke ngoko nilubona usindiso ayakunenzela lona namhla uYehova uThixo. Amayiphutha la beniwabona phambi kwenu anisayi kuphinda niwabona. Sazimaseka izandla zakhe. As this city is in unity, in action, and this city is hard at work, masibambe ke lamda wokugqibela umbongo kaMoses athi zimasa ke ngoko izenzo zezandla zethu. Isenzo sesandla sethu usizimase sona, masithandaze. God of peace, God of love, God of hope, Thixo wethu siyakunqula, siyakuthandaza, siyakubonga kusasa nje as we are gathered in this hall. Ngena Thixo wethu uthatha indawo ekufaneleyo, so that sikwazi ukumamela okokuba usodolophu usibizele ntoni, ukuze Thixo xa siphuma apha siphume sisithi sivile siyokwenza oko siza kuxelela. Simasa wonke lo msitho, kuba Thixo wethu ezwini lakho uthe bafumaneka besaphuka abakhi bendlu, uba uthanga wena ubekho phakathi kwabo, ube ngowenani. As we are inviting you, we are inviting the Holy Spirit. Siyakhotha, siyaguqa ezinyaweni. For thine is thy kingdom, thy power, and thy glory, now and forevermore. Amen.
Well, let's thank the interfaith religion. Thank you very much for your prayers. Thanks for connecting us with the Lord. as we start our program today, I have no doubt in my mind that we are now blessed. So we can go ahead. Now the next item in our program is the introduction and acknowledgement of our guests and VIPs, which I will quickly do. Immediately I finish with that, I will ask Uviwe Senior Secondary School choir to come and do their entertainment. And that will be leading to allowing the executive mayor to deliver his State of the Metro address. I want them to be ready. And all those who are supposed to do the curtain raiser as we go to the State of the Metro address. Let me quickly now, once again, say that we are very much pleased that here today we are supported by a number of people, important people from all corners of our province and the Metro. May I say once again, we are honored to have the First Lady, Umama Uzandi Phakathi. We are as well honored to have number one in our province, the Premier, Honorable Phumulo Masualle. We are as well honored to have MECs, MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture, DJ Pemza, Umama Umachotina. We are also as well honored to have the MEC for Kokta, Utata Honorable Fikile Kasa. We are very much honored as well to have the Deputy Speaker of the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature, Honorable Bulelwa Tunyiswa. We are honored to have the Deputy Chairperson of the House of Traditional Leaders, Prince Benz Ngamashe. We are honored to have members of the Mayoral Committee and our honorable councillors. I won't mention them by names. The Khakhabe Kingdom, I'm told, is also here. The members of the provincial legislature, we have Honorable Stelo Gobana, who is the chairperson of the office of the Premier. We have Honorable Uqiba, who is the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Rural Development. The interfaith leaders, already they've done their part. May we also recognize the presence of the Griqua, is it Grigwa? The Griqua chiefs. May we also acknowledge the presence of the BCMTA board. I won't mention their names. EXEC as well is here. The Office of the Auditor General, the leadership of South African Municipal Workers Union and IMATU, the Moral Regeneration members are also here. The University of Walter Sisulu and the University of Fort Hare. The Borakai Chamber of Business is also here. Forgive me if we may have missed others, but we will update you as we go along with our program. Now, as I'm landing, I'm of the view that we now inviting entertainment from Uviwe Senior Secondary School Choir. Uviwe.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mine is just to make a sort of an introduction to the choir that has just descended the stage. These kids that were trying to do a performance in front of you, on the first week of July, they will be participating at the Reima Church Randburg, where they will be representing the Eastern Cape at the National Championship of Bcmm National SFA. So, anyone who would feel like doing something for the kids, we open our hands. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much. We are very proud of our choir. Now, sesizawufikelela kuvuthondaba ngoku. But before we do so, I think it's worth for Executive Mayor to be aware as to who is here. The list is long. This is the second list now I'm given. Now ke nam ndiphethwe apha ndinikiwe yokuqala ndayifunda. Ndizoyifunda nale. Deputy Executive Mayor, Councillor Zoli Swamatana. Chief Whip, Councillor Mzwandile Vaibom. Police generals, bekhokelwa ngu-General uNqamqele. I'm told NAFCOC is here, FABCOS is here, Standard Bank is here, BCM forums, the Youth Forum, AIDS Forum, People with Disability, Unemployed Workers Union, SANCO is here as well, Ratepayers Association, political parties, especially those represented in the Council, the African National Congress, EFF. Now, I'm told that the Democratic Alliance has submitted an apology that has been noted. The South African Communist Party is represented. COSATU is represented. MKMVA is represented. Veterans League, Media House, Ward Committees, CDWs, and most importantly, the Steve Biko Foundation, which is led by Mr. Nkosinathi Biko Nomamu Biko. Salga, represented by Mr. Mbumza and Mrs. Mafaya. Mr. Mafanya, abamazi ngoba nguChezi, representing Public Service Commission, is also here. Thank you very much. Now the time has come for us to invite His Excellence, the Executive Mayor of Buffalo City Metro, to the podium to come and deliver his State of the Metro address. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Lakumi Zulu. Lakumi Zulu. Ituthethe tunzana kudala umthukuzela.
Teqhiqhaphe mazantsi phepha singsemantla. Mpumalanga sikothe. Mpumalanga sikothe.
Kwanele ngqele wena ukholisa izinja singabethwanga. Mpumalanga sikothe. Ewe kaloku Mpumalanga sikothe. Yaqhuma ingwenyana. Zaguga ijesu zatsha nezixheku. Yalonto nsithi qabulo qolombe efile nje.
Yaqombuluka inapho. Malanga yathushiya kukude phakupho. Malanga yathushiya kukude phakupho. Kedibetha ngona kilonto nje kuvumi. Ukubonelana ukuqombuluka kwenapha.
Kubaluleka bona kukuqombuluka kwenamba. Ngeke lo umqhiqa. Ngeke lo untswentswe. Ngeke lo unotsaholo siyamthathula ngethethana. Lathethi thethana ngqasula hu. Ngokwenzenzelo ndiyangqina. Ndibonile inamba iqombuluka.
Utheni nukuyazi lonto?
Andibuzanga mna ndizibonele. Ndazazi izingqi zamaqirha. Into ethu zawuvula umlomo tshoke nqumbululi yentetho.
Yalonto nsithi thetha qirha imameli Afrika. Thetha kaloku qali kakade. Khasele ntlala ingekaminyaka ukufithuba. Thathele nzulwini entsontsomile nesiziba. Isiziba siviwa ngodondolo.
Sibulela isizalo sikama wakhe kaloku. Ngokuhlala-hlala fuka mingqondi. Thigama umntwana uthi ngixola. Kanti umntwana uyakuzama uxolo kweli.
Uquzeleli nomthandi wesizwe esintsundu. Into ezixakekisa ngokuphucula umasipala weBhafula. Awu, inxiliphela madoda.
Ewe kaloku. Ndiyabona amanye amadoda edoda ubudoda bawo ngewaka lesidumbu. Ndawubona amanye amadoda edoda ubudoda bawo ngobuhlwengu. Ndawubona amanye amadoda exupha iziqaqazi zemifino nabafazi. Kodwa wena kangibona kaloku imbitso ezingelo hlobo. Azawubhuda amabhedengu ebhibhidla ethi jika amatyabezi zonka. Sekuthi kwakufika ezo mbitso ezingelo hlobo unika idolo ukutya kwalo. Inyathi buzwa kwabaphambili. Sizibonile into zomtsikele apha. Asabi nagxekeke noko. Ewe kaloku kumdalo wadala imideko eAfrika. Sibulela impatho yeni kaloku. Sijongene nembizo ezingelo hlobo. Maze sikhunjulwe njengabantu abanobuzwe nobunganga.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Councillor Alfred Mtsi, who is also our program director today, Honorable Premier of the province, Honorable Maswale and the members of the provincial executive, MEC FD Xhasa, MEC P. Majodina, MEC Kyanki, Honorable Deputy Speaker of the Legislature and members of the provincial legislature present here, Honorable Deputy Executive Mayor, Councillor Zoliswa Matana, Honorable Chief Whip of Council, Councillor Mzwandile Vaipom, members of the Mayoral Committee, fellow councillors, traditional leadership led by the Deputy Chair of the House of Traditional Leaders in the province, Unkosi Ncamashe, naso sonke isikhokelo sabantwana begazi. leaders of all political parties present here today, City Manager Mr. Andile Sihlatla, heads of directorates and management, leadership from Chapter 9 institutions, and leadership from the institutions of higher learning that are in our city. Distinguished leaders of religious fraternity, captains of business and industries, organized labor and civil society, members of the media houses, distinguished guests and dignitaries, comrades and compatriots, progressive formations, and fellow Buffalo City residents. Ladies and gentlemen, I salute you in the year of Istalwandwe, Tata Oliver Reginald Tambo, a gallant fighter, a rare visionary, a par excellence revolutionary, and a disciplined leader of our glorious movement, the African National Congress, who would be, in October 2017, turned 100 years had he still been alive. The rare qualities of Tata Tambo as a revolutionary and astute leader of our people constitute an embodiment of our struggles to liberate our people from the shackles of economic bondage and triple social ills that characterize the daily experiences of our less fortunate masses. In the informal shacks, in the dusty streets of our townships, and in the underdeveloped rural settlements and urban centers. The unbroken years of struggles and unwavering commitment by the great and humble Tata Tambo and Isitwalandwe of our movement was and remains rooted on ideological clarity, political maturity, revolutionary morality beyond reproach, universal values of humankind, common good of the people, Ubuntu, and most prudently, human development, progression and prosperity of South Africa, the African continent, and the world nations. In this regard, we dare not fail to emulate the leadership characteristics, including the noble and great deeds of Tata Tambo and many good men and women of his generation. Like Tata Nelson Mandela, Tata Walter Sisulu, Tata Raymond Mhlaba, Tata Govan Mbeki, Tata Ahmed Katrada, Tata Andrew Mlangeni, Tata Dennis Goldberg, Mama Lillian Ngoyi, Mama Gertrude Shope, who braved themselves against the wrath of apartheid regime and its ruthless machinery in opposing the degradation of our people into secondary citizens in the land of their birth. As the leadership of the city, we have no option but only one choice of consolidating and accelerating the work done by those who came before us, by implementing the mandate of our manifesto to improve and enhance the socio-economic outlook of our people through the economic re-engineering of the township, of the ownership patterns, control and management with greater emphasis on the majority, qualitative and sustainable employment creation with greater emphasis on small, medium and micro enterprises, cooperatives, both primary and secondary, including other community-based initiatives. Changing the racially oriented and fragmented spatial planning to address integrated human settlements in all its facets. To provide affordable, qualitative and sustainable basic services to all with biasness to the poor and indigent without discrimination to any sector of society. Build social compacts with key partners or stakeholders within the city and beyond to ensure the attainment of the vision of the Metro Growth and Development Strategy. Honorable Speaker, last week Friday, we marked yet another historic milestone of the June 16 Revolutionary Detachment of 1976, who fearlessly fought against and defeated the apartheid regime and its racist policies that wanted to subjugate our masses into a crude and inhuman form of colonialism of a special type 41 years ago. Honorable Speaker, we have just hosted the successful Mayoral Cup tournament as part of marking a historic Youth Day, which was celebrated by the sporting bodies across the different sporting codes, with the local young people partaking during this Youth Month. The significance of the commemorations of the Youth Day offered a platform of social cohesion, unity in action, and a city hard at work. As it showcased the raw talent by the young athletes and also the demonstration of experience by the legendary sportsmen and sportswomen to serve as a source of inspiration to the younger generation. It is, however, pivotal that we set annual measures and milestones in place over the next 5 years to track the value and impact of such initiatives in building a united and coherent society that heals the divisions of the past and establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights to improve the quality of life of all citizens and free the potential of each person. This year represents a 23rd anniversary of the hard-won freedom and democracy, which redefined the trajectory of our political landscape and gave impetus to the birth of a developmental local government, whose foundation rests on provision of qualitative and sustainable service delivery, changing of economic patterns and local beneficiation, including the centrality of citizenry participation in the affairs of local government. It is against this background that the city has adopted a progressive and pragmatic perspective of metro growth and development strategy, including the integrated development plan that is collectively shared and embraced by a social contract by a range of partners who unwaveringly commit to make a difference in the lives of our communities. Honorable Speaker, in this august occasion of today, we are therefore presenting a roadmap of realizing the set of objectives of our manifesto over a period of 5 years, however broken down on an annual basis in order to set achievable outcomes as part of benchmarking our journey, progress, limitations, and required intervention towards realization of our strategic mandate of transforming society and bettering the urban and rural livelihoods of our people. It is in this context that we locate the theme of Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality, which is unity in action and a city hard at work. The significance of the theme finds expression in the adopted Metro Growth and Development Strategy, which is underpinned by these fundamental pillars. First, being an innovative and productive city, a green city, a connected city, a spatially integrated city, and a well-governed city. Honorable Speaker, what is meant by an innovative and productive city is simply illustrated here under. It is the ability of the city to expand its economic base from the benefits of its industrialization outlook through promotion of sector diversity and regional economic integration to maximum potential and an impact. The exploration of building and investing on the new sectors like ocean economy has a potential to improve and enhance agro-processing sector in the form of aquaculture or mariculture, retail and hospitality industries, waterfronts and water theme parks, energy production and building small and medium and micro enterprises and cooperatives, thus giving meaningful value to local beneficiation. In the same token, this has a capacity to strengthen capital investment into the transport infrastructure network, as it will require development, integration and linkages of 3 ports of the province of the Eastern Cape, including upgrade and seamless alignment to key provincial and national roads. Likewise, when we commit ourselves to be a green city, we in essence mean a city able to take advantage of its competitive potential to build on the gains of its industrialized economic base, like the automotive manufacturing hub. The recent signing of Memorandum of Understanding with the internationally acclaimed Mercedes-Benz of South Africa signifies the ability of the city to exploit its economic potential and expand its tentacles to greater heights for the benefit of the city, its partners, and local populace. The ocean economy also represents the initiative of a green city in that usage and sustainability of marine resources forms an integral part of the MGTS, in that protection and preservation of marine biodiversity, as well as protection of ecosystems and environmental development zones, remain key in the commitments of being a green city. Similarly, when we declare our city a connected city, we relate to the ability of the city to have an integrated transport infrastructure network in the form of ports, roads, rail, and airport to ensure easy access, mobility, and connectivity within its jurisdiction and beyond through cost-effective measures and sustainable methods. The ability of the city to take advantage of the existing information and communication technology and new digital migration network and services in the form of broadband, Wi-Fi connectivity to link townships and rural communities to the urban centers of economic activity. In essence, Honorable Speaker, this also talks to the ability of the city to deliver services with ease, speed, and agility to all sections of its communities. To this end, this has the potential to enhance meaningful communication and sound relations between the city, its partners, and local populace, as well as avert disruption of services, alienation of communities, and potential loss of confidence by other social partners. When we talk of spatially integrated city, we refer to the ending of the spatial divisions and fragmentation of the past, thus having uniform norms and standards of building integrated human settlements linked to all social amenities and economic centers. Inclusivity in the form of economic activities and integration, rendering of accessible, affordable, and sustainable social services. In addition, when we speak of a well-governed city, we relate to the provision of astute political leadership to the Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality, under the stewardship of the Executive Mayor, the Speaker, and the Chief Whip of Council, the Mayoral Committee, and councillors. The leadership should be founded on commonly shared and embraced vision as espoused in the MGDS, which is linked to Vision 2030 of Sustainable Development Goals, Vision 2063 of the African Union, Vision 2030, the National Development Plan, and Vision 2030 of the province of the Eastern Cape. In respect to administration, we talk of achievement of an unqualified audit opinion, application of best practices in supply chain management space, prevention and report of corruption, expenditure patterns in line with approved budget, quality and sustainable provisioning of basic services, enhancement of citizenry participation. We further relate to the protection and profiling of institutional image and corporate outlook, a culture of governance that gives confidence to our social partners and the people of a well-managed and governed city, which distinguishes itself from the rest. The Metro Growth and Development Strategy is not an accident of history, but a conscious and deliberate strategic perspective that outlines the transformative and developmental agenda of the city. The resuscitation and repositioning of the Buffalo City Metro Development Agency resonates with the Metro Growth and Development Strategy in pioneering the economic agenda of the city. In essence, this could be summed as, though not limited to, economic and social development to conceptualize, plan and execute catalytic socio-economic development project, tourism to serve as a tourism infrastructure agents of the municipality, property management and commercialization to acquire and oversee and manage land and buildings and or rights to land and building necessary to enable it to achieve its aims and objectives. Honorable Speaker, and fellow councillors, the cornerstone of the service delivery and budget implementation plan is the programmatization of the MGDS and integrated development plan in respect of the adopted strategic areas and outcomes which are aligned to the medium-term expenditure revenue framework. As an implementation instrument, it broadly outlines how we have seamlessly packaged our strategic program areas, ensured smart linkages with the institutional outcome, alignment with the approved budget, and most prudently, to measure the difference and impact in the ordinary lives of our people. To this end, comrades and compatriots, the strategic path and orientation of the city is wittingly reinforcing the 2030 vision of the province of the Eastern Cape, whose ultimate objective is to better the livelihoods of urban and rural communities. An inclusive and equitable and growing economy, an educated, innovative and empowered citizenry, a healthy population, vibrant, equitably enabled communities, capable agents across government and other institutional partners committed to the development of the province. Honorable Speaker, dignitaries and traditional leadership, the unveiling and launch of the NTP is anchored on the resolution of the triple challenges that characterizes our society, which are the elimination of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. Fellow councillors, the overall trust of the NTP bestows a complex and enormous responsibility on the city to meaningfully contribute towards the attainment of the national priorities. South Africa is a member of the African Union and Pan-Africanist Parliament, which subscribes and embraces the philosophy of African Renaissance and recognizes the relevance of the African diaspora. In this regard, the city commits itself to Vision 2063 of the AU, which is summed up as follows. A prosperous Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development, an integrated continent, politically united and based on the ideals of Pan-Africanism and the vision of the Africa's Renaissance. An Africa of good governance, democracy, respect for human rights, justice and the rule of law. A peaceful and secure African continent. In Africa with a strong cultural identity, common heritage, shared values and ethics. An Africa whose development is people-driven, relying on the potential of African people, especially its women and youth, and caring for children, and Africa as a strong, united and influential global player and partner. Likewise, South Africa is a member of the United Nations and part of the global community that embraces the universal principles and the world agenda to attain Vision 2030 Sustainable Development Goals as encapsulated hereunder, to end poverty in all its forms everywhere, to end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all and at all ages, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls, ensure availability and sustainable management ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable industrialization and foster innovation. Reduce inequality within and among countries. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable, and ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. Conserve and sustainably use the oceans, the seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Protect and restore, promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainable managed forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation, and halt biodiversity loss. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Strengthen the means of implementation and revitalized the Global Partnership for Sustainable Development. Honorable Speaker and fellow councillors, our progressive allocation of capital budget is the testimony of our commitment to better the living conditions of urban and rural communities of this city over the next 3 financial years, is tabulated below. A 1.65 billion has been set aside for 2017-18 financial year. A further 2.2 billion has been approved for 2018-19 financial year. Another 2.3 billion in the 2019 has been allocated. Excuse me. It is worth noting that Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality's capital budget has increased by 11% compared to 2016-17 adopted budget. It is also showing a steady increase towards the year 2020, which places the city in strategic position to progressively deliver on its mandate as espoused in the MGTS and the ITP. Without any doubt, the deliberate decision to allocate 70% of the total capital budget for 2017-18 financial year resonates with our long-term vision of the city. It is against this backdrop that we have prioritized the following services. The upgrade and provision of wastewater infrastructure with an allocation of 284 million. Water services has been allocated 130 million. Upgrade and construction of roads infrastructure network and stormwater drainage assets at an amount of 271 million. And 186 million is allocated for provision of integrated human settlement. Electricity service has been allocated 148 million and transport planning provided 134 million. We do intend expanding our services and improve customer relations to the Midlands region through the commencement of construction of offices so as to expand our services to more citizens closer to where they live. Furthermore, our rural communities will benefit from rural indigent registration campaign and thus ensure that all beneficiaries benefit from free basic electricity. Consistent with our long-term vision of being a well-governed city, the National Treasury undertook a rating assessment of all 7 sectors in the country as part of determining their financial potential and capabilities, in particular rendering services, state of balance sheet, and investment attraction and retention. As the city, we recorded a historic achievement as being recognized as the best financially sound with interesting reserves which position us to discharge our mandate without fail. The continued qualified opinion by the Auditor General remains an area of serious concern for the city. And as such, when we were recruiting for the new city manager, we were emphatic on a clear audit turnaround plan. To truly have the confidence of citizens and stakeholders, we must in the foreseeable future achieve an unqualified opinion. This we know is achievable. This we know is achievable. Other metros have achieved such an audit outcome and repeated such. We have noted the recent management letter from the Office of the Auditor General and suggestions on how to deal with matters of qualification and assure that the suggested corrective measures by the Office of the AG will be attended. The ongoing implementation of the Audit Improvement Plan has clearly yielded some benefits in that the significant areas identified as concerns in the prior year have been addressed. The city is focused on improving governance and achieving an unqualified audit opinion. The continued implementation of the Audit Improvement Plan is but one of the tools through which we can achieve this. The area of supply chain management has been one of the areas of concern from us as the municipal leadership that can affect our goal of being a well-governed city. However, through internal engagements and inputs from the AG, we are turning around our SCM. To this end, we have introduced e-procurement and central supplier data registration in order to eliminate manual registration. The Council has since adopted new SCM policy, infrastructure and procurement policy in May 2017 as part of its efforts to turn around its performance. The city has since also extended number of bid committees from 3 to 6 in order to improve tender award turnaround and ensure efficiency on the city's ability to provide services to both internal and external clients. The impact of this move has ensured that we have minimal disruptions in our mandate of providing basic services to our communities. We have further finalized the adoption of contractor development program to promote small and medium enterprises and co-ops. Some of the contractors who are beneficiaries of this program are present here today. Honorable Speaker, we are a city hard at work. We will, in the medium-term revenue expenditure framework, ensure full implementation of e-procurement in order to automate the system and be M-score compliant. We will annually review the SCM and procurement policy in order to comply and keep abreast with procurement reforms. We will review SCM policy in order to ensure the radical economic transformation is achieved in the city and ensure that black business can thrive and grow in our city. We will ensure the sustenance of numerous bid committees in line with SCM infrastructure, procurement and delivery management. We will be tracking the implementation of the contractor development program and ensure its expansion so that more SMMEs can benefit from this program. We must, out of necessity, get to a stage where the demographics of our region are reflected in all areas of our lives, including in business, and benefit from the city's expenditure budget. This can only be achieved through meaningful social compacts between the local, state, and organized business. When we assumed office on the 18th of August, 2016, there was no accounting officer in the city. And the city had no HODs in the following directorates: Health and Public Safety, Human Settlements, Economic Development and Agencies, and Municipal Services. The situation was definitely untenable in that you had people in acting capacity, thus reducing to a greater extent accountability. This surely had an impact on governance of the institution. We committed to the citizens of the city that we shall remedy the situation and that even set a target for ourselves to have a city manager during our first 100 days in office. As of the 1st of June 2017, the new city manager assumed responsibilities of the accounting officer, thus opening a new chapter in the city's administration. And that applause suggests that you are officially welcome, city manager. We have been extremely busy in filling other critical vacant funded posts that will sharpen our service delivery efforts. We are in the process of rolling out integrated electronic performance system to enhance performance management in the institutions. We will also roll out the workplace skills plan to capacitate both councillors and officials in the 2017-18 financial year. There has been extensive training interventions during this year for councillors and staff. This has seen the city conclude the service level agreement with the National School of Governance in order to properly focus and integrate such capacitation. Ladies and gentlemen, to truly live up to our vision of being a well-governed city will require that we uproot fraud and corruption in the city. In this instance, In this instance, reporting fraud and corruption is everyone's responsibility, as it affects all of us through increased billing or dangerous electricity connections, misuse of municipal assets, and so forth. The municipality continues to use anti-fraud and anti-corruption strategies as outlined in the fraud prevention strategy adopted by management. A fraud hotline has been established to report and process reported incidents of fraud, corruption, theft, and other crimes of dishonesty. A register of all the cases reported through the hotline is kept for reporting purposes, and all affected departments are expected to investigate and participate fully in all these initiatives. All serious cases of fraud and corruption are dealt with through law enforcement agencies and in terms of the financial misconduct procedures as laid out in law. The municipality continues to report on fraud and corruption in the appropriate platforms such as the Audit Committee, the Auditor General of South Africa, and the annual report processes so that there is ongoing reporting and accountability. Honorable Speaker, there are plans to roll out training and awareness to all employees to ensure reduced fraud and corruption tolerance on institution-wide basis. We'll be taking a multifaceted and multidisciplinary approach which involves educating employees during policy workshops about the strategy, as well as the distribution of frequently asked questionnaires to employees is to be done on a regular basis to enhance awareness and strengthen early detection and prevention. There are plans to incorporate independent investigation as part of strengthening efficiency beyond reporting. In appropriate cases, intergovernmental participation is also to be improved to tap into uniform standards and to utilize best practices as far as possible. Existing capacity challenges in terms of financial and human resources will also be addressed within the context of the institutional budgetary framework. Honorable Speaker, we have set for ourselves a goal of building a productive city. To this end, we have launched the Buffalo City Development Agency, BCMDA, late last year. The city has adopted the Metro Growth and Development Strategy as a catalyst for economic growth of the city. We have secured council approval for the establishment of the MGDS unit to drive the implementation process of the Metro Growth and Development Strategy. We have, through our signed partnership with Government Technical Advisory Council, GTEC, secured the services of Mr. Andrew Murray, who will head up the MGDS unit of the city. He had previously served our province in EXEC for the past 17 years. And most of you know him as the CEO of that critical institution. We are indeed a city hard at work. The MGDS unit, the BCMDA, the GTEC partnership, and the city manager, Mr. Andile Slatla, will form the city's strategic core for the realization of our goal to build a productive city. We have launched the BCMDA and also signed a service level agreement which sets the parameters and scope of the agency for our developmental agenda. The city has publicized the review of the BCMM-MBSA partnership, which previously ended in June 2016. This partnership is aimed at promoting public-private partnership for improved service delivery and has benefited our metro to improve investor confidence and consolidate strategic compacts within the rest of business. To this end, the city has hosted for the first time ever the 2016 Eastern Cape Maritime Summit with the aim of positioning our shores as the prime location for marine investment, expansion of our East London port, and Operation Pakisa, the ocean economy. Honorable Speaker, without investment in the productive sectors of the economy, the vision of having a productive city can never be achieved. And this is my favorite subject, as you know. So there must be investment of the profits into the productive sectors of the economy. Mr. Les Holbrook, I hope you are here. We have identified tourism as one of the strategic economic sectors that have, to this end, that has the potential to grow and thus assist in growing the regional economy and job creation. We have started to invest in resources. To this end, the city has started to invest its resources in cultivating lifestyle tourism through supporting a number of lifestyle events that continue to attract tourists into the city and contribute to the sustainability of our hospitality sector. The following events are but some of the events that have positioned the city very well and benefited the retail and hospitality industries. The Daily Dispatch Cycle Tour, Harley Davidson Africa Bike Week, Metro FM Heat Wave, Berlin November, and Buyele Kaya. This is further consolidated by our booming sports tourism aspect that we are nurturing. To this end, our partnership with Chippa United Football Club continues to be a success, and it attracts a number of supporters both from within the metro and outside the metro. This past season has proven to be bigger than the previous one. We have hosted as the city the current African champions, the Mamelodi Sundowns, the current PSL champions, Wits, and both could not secure a victory against the home side. The PSL matches are all televised on either SABC or SuperSport, and they give the city the much needed publicity and focus. They bring to our shores visitors who would ordinarily never have visited the city. The spin-off from this positioning has been huge in that we have since hosted the multi-choice disc challenge, which brought lots of economic spin-off in the hospitality industry and for our local vendors and leisure establishments around Tanzania. The economic impact of Chippa United Football Club on Buffalo City Metro Municipality is the wealth created in Bcmm as a result of the football club being partially based in the city. In order to quantify the economic impact, we quantify the direct expenditure, such expenditure by the football club and expenditure by spectators to the Sisa Dukashe Stadium. To this end, based on the Grant Thornton report, it can be deduced that the total contribution to GDP in 2016-17 season was 43,990,000, with the figures expected to rise to 51 million in the 2018-19 season. We have since also hosted a fully fledged Bafana Bafana international match against the Angola, which was a sold-out affair and further cemented our place as a sports destination of choice. We further hosted for the first time the multi-choice rugby challenge at Sisa Dukashe Stadium. And it had the best recorded attendance to date. This also received live coverage and the city benefited. We are working closely with border cricket to secure major cricket action for the city, and should our combined efforts yield the desired outcomes, our tourism industry will benefit handsomely. We are disappointed, MEC Machotina, at not being awarded the host city rights for the T20 Premier League this season. We remain focused and committed to working with border cricket to secure future major tournaments for this city. We are a city hard at work. We are working closely with the National Heritage Council to cultivate our shared cultural heritage tourism so that we can have diversity in terms of our tourism offerings and attraction that will unlock our full tourism potential. As part of tourism promotion and development, the city has employed 20 tourism ambassadors and 30 tourism safety monitors during the past festive season, who were placed on key beaches around the city. This is done to increase visibility and improve information dissemination of local tourism infrastructure. One of the objectives of the city is to grow the tourism sector in Buffalo City, focusing on drawing both domestic and international tourists to the metro and ensuring that their stay is extended over a period of time and there are repeat visits. The metro embarked on an aggressive approach in positioning itself as also an events destination of choice. And as such, 2016-17 financial year has been the busiest year in the history of BCMM's annual events calendar. Unlike in the previous years, where events were only centered around the summer season and Christmas, the events for 2016-17 were spread throughout the year. Excuse me. We are simultaneously preparing our SMMEs to play an active role in the building of a productive city, and to this end, we have made the following interventions. In summary, the training provided for 2016-17 included the broad-based Black economic empowerment workshops, which benefited 22 SMMEs from Pagamisa. A seminar for women in business was hosted for all women businesses operating within the city. The theme of the seminar was Women Leading the Way in Business for Change of Livelihoods. The seminar was attended by 68 SMMEs and 7 co-ops. Training on marketing was held for 18 SMMEs operating in the Zwelicha Township. About 60 SMMEs benefited on business skills training, and participants were drawn from King Williamstown, Mdantsane, and Dungan Village. Cooperative governance training for 60 cooperative businesses has been held for these areas: Dungan Village, Mdantsane, King Williamstown. This training is key for board of directors and senior executive of co-ops, as it clarifies the roles and responsibilities of the board. Many co-ops fail because the board does not understand its functions and they are unable to govern the co-op as required and stipulated by Cooperatives Act number 14 of 2005. Some of the best crafters were selected from Crafters Association to exhibit and showcase their products in the Mangaung African Cultural Festival. BCMM also collaborated with Buffalo Toyota, Eastern Cape Rural Development Agency, and Small Enterprise Development Agency in support of the hair and beauty industry. Hair and beauty industry. In support of Maskanyselane Bakery Co-op, which has been struggling to take off due to lack of appropriate premises with adequate electricity supply. We have renovated one of its buildings. The co-op is already in possession of bakery equipment valued at $500,000, which was provided by ECTC through the Imvaba Fund. This co-op will shortly be in operation, and continued support is required in terms of access to market. The Bcmm Annual Franchise Expo, which entered its 4th year, grew exponentially since its inception, with event attracting 50 exhibitors and 4,300 visitors. We are working closely with the Department of Economic Development and Environmental Affairs, which funded the following projects through the LRED funding. ProGlove, which is a company operating in King Williamstown, manufacturing protective leather gloves and clothing. The project was funded for $3 million. Ikusasa Green, which operates in Timbaza industrial area and manufactures plastic products, including cooler boxes, was funded to an amount of $3 million. Buzobetu, the company operates in Zwelicha and manufactures traditional outfits and has been funded $3 million. Be Bright operates in Mdantsane in chemical manufacturing space and has been funded with $3 million. Makebeza Office Furniture operates in Mdantsane for Jackson Industrial Park and manufactures office furniture and has been funded with $3 million. Sibabetha nge $3 million wonke umuntu, irrespective. In terms of informal sector, which is in dire state, we collaborated with COGTA, SALCA, and the Municipal Institute of Learning to work towards the development of Bcmm informal sector policy. Representatives from the various bodies of informal traders throughout the metro participated in a 2-day workshop, which was breaking ground for this work. Fellow councillors, in 2016-17, Buffalo City accelerated its support towards agriculture and rural development through the provision of much-needed agriculture infrastructure and farmer support program. The Directorate of Economic Development enjoys close working relations with the Department of Rural Development and Agrarian Reform in the province, which ensures optimization of resources. More joint programs are proposed for the further implementation in the 2017-18 financial year. In 2016-17, the following areas were serviced: fencing of grazing land in Noncampa, fencing of arable land in Newlands, Kwelecha, and Kyusha, fencing of hydroponics projects at Timbaza, Newlands, Mdantsane, NU18, fencing of vegetable project at Mzansi village, construction of dipping tanks in Skobeni, Ebisho Nasazkova, construction and refurbishment of piggery structure in Kids Beach and Amagasela pork production in King Williamstown area. All these projects are active. They have access to markets and are creating jobs in their respective communities. We have been continuously providing required support to home-based initiatives aimed at improving livelihoods of Bcmm citizens. They range from agriculture initiatives such as community food gardens. Projects below have been assisted with production inputs like seedlings, garden tools, fertilizers. Some examples include Entlango Co-op, Kwaqongqotha, Epiri Mission Community Project, Kwato Vegetable Project. Honorable Speaker, we said in the beginning, we have adopted a theme that says, unity in action and a city hard at work. In this regard, Bcmm, in partnership with the Office of the Premier, will be piloting an urban micro aquaponics project at Zwelicha and Dangen Village. Buffalo City Metro, in partnership with Department of Rural Development and Agrarian Reform, successfully hosted the Bcmm Agricultural Exhibition Show, which was held at Bisho Agricultural Showground. This event is an annual event meant to promote and support agriculture in the city, and these are the priorities for agriculture and rural development. We will be working with Department of Rural Development and Agrarian Reform, assisting 15 villages with maize production inputs on the next planting season, piloting of the Rural Economic Development Hub in partnership with the Eastern Cape Rural Development Agency, where 14 million has been set aside for 3 sites as follows: Echabo, 1, 2, and 3, Edongwe, Emhlabati. Accelerate the farmer support program by taking the burden of maintaining and servicing tractors, exploring more opportunities in aquaculture and aquaponics. I hope Gamazana Lendo was a chapo. I nandia wenza nawe kubungwapa. The program Gamas Palad must be Sibamba Golodlob. Ours is a global connected city consistent with the NTP in terms of positioning South Africa in the world, in that we are Africans. We are an African country, we are part of our multinational region, we are an essential part of our continent. Being Africans, we are acutely aware of the wider world, deeply implicated in our past and present. The municipality invested an amount of 6 million towards marketing of the city. We have participated in a number of trade and consumer tourism shows with the main goal of showcasing what the city has to offer as a tourist destination of choice. These included the world-class tourism shows such as the World Travel Market in London, ITB in Berlin, Vacantia Beers in Netherlands, World Travel Market in Cape Town, Meetings Africa in Johannesburg, and tourism and national tourism in Durban. Significant inroads have been made in these platforms as the travel industry, including both the distribution channels, that is our tour operators and media, are beginning to recognize the Buffalo City brand. The city also invested quite a sizable amount in print and electronic media in advertising Buffalo City as a tourist destination of choice. Further funding and partnerships are still required to take the metro to another level. The city has a full appreciation of how the world has become increasingly interconnected, and as such, we are positioning the city to play a more active role, particularly when it comes to global trade. We'll be focusing our international relations to be fully aligned to the country's international relations partnerships while harnessing the existing partnerships. South Africa's international relations are guided by the promotion of well-being, development and upliftment of its people, protecting the planet for future generations, and ensuring that prosperity of the country, the region, and Africa. Our city has taken a decision to position itself as a logistics hub of the province, leveraging on our strategic geographic location. Transnet has recently presented in our roundtable engagement with stakeholders their funded plans on the port expansion program. And airports company South Africa as well as has committed to expand the operations of the East London Airport in responding to the imperative of being a logistics center. To this end, a contract has been awarded for the construction of Needs Camp Potsdam Bridge to the value of 70 million, with construction starting next month. The Kwachachu Kalashe pedestrian bridge contractor, the contractor is already on site, and the completion date estimated to be July 2017. We are focusing on public transport facilities and are busy with upgrade of King Williamstown public transport facilities. The contractor is on site. We are expecting completion in June 2019. The project is funded with 80 million. We are finalizing the business plans for financial modeling for transport corridors, operational plans during 2017-18, 18-19 financial year. The Slipperside Road R72 to Fitzpatrick Phase 1 currently in design stage and construction anticipated to start by July 2019. The design of the Mount Ruth interchange is scheduled to start by August 2017, and the project is implemented by Sanral on our behalf. Feasibility for the Northwest Corridor to start on May 2018. Award of Phase 7, the upgrading of Kumza Highway, the dual carriageway is expected no later than the end of June 2017. Zawubaleka kakhulu imoto pha eMdantsane. Indlela sayilungisa. Bafuneka sifake speed humps pha. Feasibility of 9 pedestrian bridges in Scenery Park, Duncan Village, Buffalo Flats, Link Duncan Village, Matanzima, Duncan Village, Gessin, Cambridge Township Phase 3, Amalinda Forest, Tembiso School in Tanzania. These are but some of the road networks and links that will unlock the city's development potential. We have resolved to conduct a comprehensive land audit of all municipal land and land ownership broadly in the new financial year, taking into consideration the newly incorporated areas to be part of the Bcmm. Now, kumbula uba uko indawo ezintsha ezivele engqushwa bafikile abantu akwethu abaye bavele emahlathi abanye bavele Great Guy bafuna ke sibenzele indlela ndiyabona bamke bengalungiselelwanga pha apho basuka khona bengabanga zaphathiswa nomphako baze bafike bathi ke nansi ihamba idlana funa sibaqale phansi sibafakele itanki zamanzi sibafakele indlela sibafakele umbane nani bavile pha eqonce estadium zininzi izinto ababezithethile pha anawuzithetha apha phakathi kwabantu. We are working towards being a spatially transformed city. This means the initiatives to reverse apartheid spatial planning. In this instance, the Bonza Bay Local Spatial Development Framework Review has commenced with update and make additional land use policy proposals for the Bonza Bay Road study area. The Two Rivers Drive feasibility study identifies and assesses the suitability of land for commercial and residential potential adjacent to Two Rivers Drive. The Slipperside Development Framework has been adopted and also adopted by Council, which promotes mixed land use and proposes spatial future concepts. Numerous layouts will be developed in order to formalize informal settlements for the approval of township establishments. This will be mainly informal settlements for the Mdantsane infill areas and will include the following informal settlements: Eslovo Park, Ekuphumleni, naseThembeni. We have approved the following land use applications: 59 rezoning, 63 subdivisions, 469 departures, and 18 special consents as council. With regards to informal settlement study, which was approved by council, the informal settlements have been assessed in terms of the following categories: high priority, medium priority, and low priority. They have been further classified in terms of an in situ formalization. With regards to National Upgrading Support Program, Council approved 32 of 154 informal settlements in Buffalo City Metro Municipality for in situ upgrading on incremental basis, and therefore development plans have been completed for these settlements. This program is funded by the National Department of Human Settlements. Council also approved the following township establishment for areas: Mpilisweni, Khayelitsha, Matyeni Park in Ward 20 and Zsoga, Ward 48, in order to formalize the settlements. These are 216 even in total. The following three areas in Tanzania, mainly Polar Park, Ehani Park, and Hlalani, all in Ward 11, are part of the Tanzania Infill Areas Initiative, which has been submitted to Council for approval of township establishment. These are 86 even in total. Feasibility studies have been completed for Ginsberg, KwaChachu, naKwaChwithinja eDimbazi. We are steadily transforming the spatial space of our city to reflect the political breakthrough that was represented by the 1994 milestone, wherein our people could define the kind of freedom they want and live where they want to live without any restrictions. Honorable Speaker, we have inherited the city with an acute shortage in terms of infrastructure to service all of its citizens. And we have the unenviable task of building the required social infrastructure in the areas that were previously marginalized. To this end, we have made the following modest progress. On bulk water provision program, this is new infrastructure. We have completed the Mdantsane pump upgrade, which will provide additional capacity for the housing developments and reduce water outages. We have appointed a contractor to complete the Umzonyana Dam outlet works and installation of security fencing around the dam. The Ward Council of Ward 5 has been crying about the fencing of the dam, and we're sorting that. So we are a city hard at work. A multi-year water backlog eradication program for the installation of bulk water mains and distribution in Ward 26, 31, 33, 36, and 38 are underway. The replacement of the existing water infrastructure program, we have completed the replacement of 5,305 old water meters to reduce non-revenue water losses in Quickney, Saxil B, Heaven Hills, Zwelicha, Zone 8 and 9, Bishop Gardens, Selborne, Eureka, Summer Pride, Sweet Waters, Chuchu North, Scenery Park, Tanzania NU17, Tanzania NU1, Pefferville in Dungan Village. We have replaced a sum of approximately 10.7 kilometers of aging asbestos cement in the following areas: Brylin, North End, West Bank, Woodbrook, Scenery Park, Timbaza, Tanzania, Breibach, West Bank in King Williamstown, CBD, Shonville. We reduced the distribution of water losses, non-revenue water from 41% to 36% as at end of March 2017, and we should do more on this matter. This is not a fundamental change. Major replacements of old water mains and water meters at cost of approximately 49 million rand were undertaken around the business in West Bank, Woodbrook, Brylin, and North End industrial areas to ensure uninterrupted water supply to businesses such as Mercedes-Benz of South Africa and Nestle, who are the major users of water in the city, which could result in huge financial losses to the businesses. The total budget for the replacement of existing water infrastructure was 126 million. 73% of this allocation has already been spent on this program as at the end of April 2017. On bulk sanitation and provision program, we have completed replacement of bulk sewer pipes in Tanzania, Zone 13, Duncan Village, Pefferville, Scenery Park, Beacon Bay, and Zamomhle. We have appointed a consultant to conduct environmental impact assessment for Hood Point Marine Outfall at the West Bank to ensure compliance with the legislation. We have erected a few ablution facilities in some of our informal settlements, namely Esisonke, Emivundleni, Mdantsane, Ebhebhelele, Egesini, Empuntsha, Esiya, Eduncan. We have completed the construction of a sewage pump station at Phakamisa to unlock housing development in that area. We have completed the eradication of conservancy tanks in Berlin and reticulation networks in Berlin waterworks, wastewater treatment works. In the year under review, the Electricity Department has achieved the following highlights since the swearing in of the new council on the 18th of August 2016. Electrification of 603 informal dwellings, Elangelicha, Alphantale, Fynbos, Lilita North, Elita North, and so forth and so forth. Electrification of 627 formal dwellings, implementation of electricity capital investment program, upgraded and replaced 4,200 meters of medium voltage cable and installed 2 new transformers. Installation of 3 new high mast lights at Malinda Middle Road in Cambridge and Zamomhle. The Electricity Department has invested 10 million in upgrading the Zamomhle overhead network. This upgrading program will continue over the next 5 years. The Electricity Department has invested 5 million in upgrading the Zwelicha overhead network second phase. This program will continue over the next year. The Electricity Department has invested 6 million in upgrading the Naun underground cable network second phase. This upgrading program will continue over the next year. A number of street lighting projects have taken place to upgrade and provide street lighting in areas requiring street lights, some of which are Fynbos, Buffalo Flats, Soka, Slovo Park, etc., etc. Implementation of electricity capital investment upgrade program by upgraded, replaced 10,000 meters of medium voltage cable and installed 5 new transformers. We'll be regraveling a total of 100 kilometers of gravel roads, surfacing 25 kilometers and maintaining 700 kilometers of roads and stormwater infrastructure. Our roads branch is currently implementing the ward-based project through which 10 volunteers per ward are assisting with pothole patching and stormwater clearing. Our construction branch is currently piloting a job creation initiative where asphalt roads are rehabilitated using labor-intensive methods and utilizing local stipend volunteers. Our focal projects during this term have been on upgrading of Mtansane Road, the completion of Fleet Street and Konupi main roads, as well as construction of the Quinera Beacon Bay Link Road. We have also invested in rehabilitation of rural roads and the replacement of the existing infrastructure and undertaking of rehabilitation to a number of Bcmm bridges. For the current financial year, we'll be rehabilitating about 3 bridges in the city. We will continue to rehabilitate existing roads infrastructure to the value of 92 million in our suburbs, regraveling of rural roads to the value of 20 million for 2016-17. Honorable Speaker, we are indeed a city hard at work. We have the following projects and programs lined up to address existing backlog, approved plans based on the medium-term revenue expenditure framework. The new Kai Road Water Treatment Works project for unlocking development in Bishop King Williamstown and Berlin areas is at a design stage, and contractor is planned to be appointed in February 2018. Amahlege Regional Reservoir Storage Project is at the final adjudication stage. Upgrading of Newlands Village Bulk Water Supply Project is at the final design stage. Water Backlog Eradication Program for 131, 32, and 33 villages is ongoing. Construction of new 7.2 M1 West Bank Restitution Reservoir will start in August 2018. Access to basic water supply has been reduced from 99 to 97 due to additional villages inherited from other municipalities due to new demarcations. But however, the city strives to eliminate all water backlogs in rural areas within the next 3 financial years. A total budget of 200 million has been put aside to continue with the pipe and water meter replacement program in the next 3 years. Currently upgrading Zwelicha Wastewater Treatment Works to accommodate and unlock development in the greater King Williamstown area and to allow for the decommissioning of overloaded Bishop and Breibach sewage ponds. A budget of 233 million is reserved to complete the upgrade. Currently upgrading Ristin Waterworks Treatment Works to unlock development in the Ristin, Wilsonia and Amalinda areas. We have set aside 35 million to complete the upgrade. Sourcing of funding through the public-private partnerships to construct a sewage tunnel to divert flow from Central Wastewater Treatment Works in Amalinda to Ristin Wastewater Treatment Works. To allow decommissioning of Central Wastewater Treatment Works, an amount of 130 million is required to implement the diversion. Preparing to go to tender for upgrading of 900 millimeter diameter Eastern Beach sewer pipeline to East Bank Wastewater Treatment Works. A budget amount of 132 million is allocated. Continued with pipe replacement program and refurbishment of existing wastewater treatment works with an annual budget allocation of 40 million. We have budgeted 3 million for additional ablution facilities to various areas and informal settlements. Erection of toilets in rural areas, continue to eradicate sanitation backlog. We have set aside 158 million for the 3 financial years. We'll continue to upgrade bulk sanitation services within Tanzania to accommodate Kozo village and other housing infill areas. An amount of 39 million is budgeted for this work. Ladies and gentlemen, siyasebenza ngokuzimisela ukuqiniseka ukuba iinkonzo ziyaya kubantu. Honorable Speaker, we are not done in ensuring that ours is a sustainable and enduring city. To this end, we have committed to do the following in the medium-term revenue expenditure framework. In the upcoming financial year, we have set the following goals. Electrification of 1,000 informal dwellings. Electrification of 1,600 formal dwellings. The department will continue the capital upgrading, refurbishment and renewal program of the electrical infrastructure to ensure that electrical network is stabilized and reliable to attract investment into the city. The upgraded, renewal and refurbished programs seek to reduce the backlog of investment in the old infrastructure, which is estimated at 450 million rand. The projects implemented to upgrade and stabilize the network by replacing old and add new switch gear, overhead line, underground cables, transformers, and mini substations. We will work closely with Eskom, who supplies electricity to Bcmm rural areas, to ensure electrification is prioritized in the metro for all. A major project to be undertaken in the outer years is the upgrading of the main kilovolt, 132 kilovolt intake point. These projects will upgrade and replace the aging overhead line and transformer and switchgear within this network, which have an average age of 25 years, which is past the standard working life of this equipment. Will be undergoing the design stage in the 2017-18. A total number of 6,600 man days have been obtained by Bcmm in terms of meeting job opportunities through the EPWP initiative. It is anticipated that for 2017-18, a total number of 6,647 man days will be achieved. During the 2016 municipal elections, we inherited 28 villages from Amahlati and other neighboring municipalities, and as such, additional 261 kilometers has been assessed from those villages. 20 kilometers of our roads there have been attended to during April-May 2017. For the financial year 2017-18, we'll continue with the implementation of Roads Master Plan, which will assist with planning for future roads program and projects, and also with the finalization of procurement process for the pavement management system. We will be implementing phase 2 of the Quinera Beacon Bailing Road, which is to the value of 70.7 million. Phase 3 of Mtanzane Roads and Fleet Street. During March 2017, Council approved a memorandum of agreement between Buffalo City Metro Municipality and Eastern Cape Department of Roads and Public Works in order to address provincial roads within Bcmm. The department is exploring alternative surfacing technology for gravel roads that will lead more stable gravel surface and longer lifespan. Sanral is rehabilitating N2 from Buffalo River to Breibach intersection, as well as National Route R63 from Alexander Road to Bishop. The N2 from Breibach to entrance into King Williamstown is currently being overlaid, with new traffic cycle having been constructed at the intersection of the N2 and Hargreaves Avenue. The section of Alexander Road from outskirts of King Williamstown to intersection of Grey Street is currently in progress. Grey Street involved a major rehabilitation with the existing road layers being removed and replaced with a depth of approximately 2 meters. This also involved the modification of existing services within the road reserve. The section of the N2 route from Grey Street to Cathcart Street on Buffalo Road is currently being rehabilitated. It was the decision of SANRAL to extend the rehabilitation of Buffalo Road, which is a provincial road, as far as Everett Close on the outskirts of King Williamstown. This work is currently in progress. The section of roadway along Cathcart Street to Buffalo Bridge is still to be completed. R63, being a portion of Maitland Road, is under construction between Alexander Road and Bishop Roadports. The works include the construction of new sidewalks and stormwater infrastructure. Various local subcontractors are being utilized by the main contractor with regards to this project. Phase 2 for SANRAL will involve upgrade of the N2 from Kwahai turn-off to Buffalo River engine garage. The estimated cost of this project is the value of 500 million. We will continue to maintain our existing fleet across various directorates to enable our city to perform varied responsibilities to the citizens and other stakeholders. We will be increasing our fleet size to support the efforts of our infrastructure services in order for us to be more responsive in the maintenance of our existing infrastructure. We will do likewise towards our efforts to combat crime and lawlessness in the city. Invited guests, to this end, tomorrow we will be attending the handover session of our new fire engine, which will be delivered at Fleet Street Fire Station. We are in the process of replacing our aging fleet with a new fleet. This is confirmed by our 2017-18 financial year commitment, wherein we have budgeted 17 million to buy further 3 fire engines. We have adopted 10 priorities, and among those were the safety of our citizens and property. To this end, we have implemented these measures. 5 CCTV cameras have been installed along beachfront area and have since been taken into use during December 2016. The CCTV control center has been upgraded. 18 additional CCTV cameras have been installed in Dungan Village area, Frere Hospital, Upper Area, Oxford Street, and Park Avenue. These cameras are also fully operational and are being linked to the control center at the fire station. Siyanibona kanipaya ebuhlanti. Siyanijonga phaa kwicamera. The rollout of additional 26 CCTV cameras will be placed in strategic positions in the CBD to fight crime, and 34 static cameras will be installed in various municipal buildings. Hopefully, we are expecting the service provider to be on site before the end of June 2017. 28 additional law enforcement officers have been appointed to strengthen the force levels of the department. 11 members completed their training on the 5th of May, with the 27 members scheduled to complete training during November 2017. We are now undertaking the process of rationalizing our bylaws. We have submitted to the Office of the MEC Transport and Safety Liaison on the 23rd of March 2017. The application is currently being considered by the MEC for Transport, Safety and Liaison. This is the application for the Metro Police. Honorable Speaker, we are working unity in action with other law enforcement agencies in collaborative efforts to make ours a safer city. We have ring-fenced a budget for remaining phases of the CCTV cameras in the medium-term revenue expenditure framework as follows: 2017-18, 3.5 million, 2018, 2 million. CCTV cameras to be increased in the East London CBD and also installed in the Liches Bay area. By Liches Bay, Nibolumgaba, otsotsi baninzi otsotsi phaya. Sizawufaka ikamera ngosijonge phaa kwenzeka ntoni by Liches Bay. Honorable Speaker, this is part of our commitment to servicing our citizens and being a city hard at work. Part of the struggle for national liberation was to restore human dignity of the oppressed, both the living and the dearly departed. To this end, we have developed a program to have a dedicated effort to cemeteries in our communities. We have set aside 10 million for development and upgrading of our cemeteries in the inland, midlands, and coastal regions. We are attending to the following cemeteries: Buffalo Flats, Lujiza, Luxolweni, John Dube, Timbaza Garden of Remembrance, Timbaza New Cemetery, Breibach Cemetery, Ndevana Cemetery, Haven Hill Cemetery. The balance of the funding has been committed to the ongoing investigation of suitable cemetery land. Environmental impact assessment in all three regions, inland, coastal, and midlands, is work in progress for the development of a cemetery master plan for the entire Bcmm area. Approval was obtained from the Department of Environmental Affairs, authorizing the extension of the Haven Hill Cemetery. Burials at the new extension will commence at the beginning of the new financial year. On our parks, we are fencing James Pierce Park and Kennesley Parks. There's an article in the Dispatch today about James Pierce Park not having a gate. We will attend to that. Horticultural plan to develop, maintain, and manage all spaces in the Central Business District in order to present an aesthetically beautiful city. We will be planning, developing, maintaining, and manage all our arboriculture work, perform plant decorations and indoor container planting where needed, conduct environmental impact assessment as part of environmental conservation, conducted vegetation control on all sidewalks, propagated 225,000 plants and trees in the nurseries. We have provided environmental education and training, performed 113 civic decorations. We have set aside $500,000 for the fencing of James Pierce Park in Naon, the one which is in the paper today. The amount of 1.2 million has been committed to purchasing of grass mowing equipment. We are committed to a clean, environmentally sustainable city, which we can only achieve through unity in action and a strong partnership with citizens and stakeholders. To bear testament to this commitment, we have signed an MOU with business, which is backed up by a financial commitment to realize our goal of a clean and environmentally sustainable city. The implementation of the turnaround strategy for rehabilitation of Round Hill landfill site was initiated in June 2015 To date, it has been progressing well. The non-compliance issues that were identified by the Department of Environmental Affairs are so far being appropriately attended to under the partnership between Buffalo City and the Botakai Chamber of Business. A call to action program, which is partnership for joint implementation of cleaning program in identified areas, has been launched during the World Environmental Week in June 2017. We will hold a waste management Indaba, and the purpose of the Indaba is to acknowledge the challenges that Bcmm has in providing the efficient and uninterrupted waste management service. This Indaba also intends to establish partnerships between the municipality, general public, businesses, institutions, and non-governmental organizations, and potential funding institutions. The partnership would be useful in tackling waste management challenge and to develop sustainable waste management approaches. This will ensure that Buffalo City citizens take a shared responsibility in achieving an acceptable state of cleanliness of this city. In the planned projects of the department, there will be a review of integrated waste management plan, assessment for prior rehabilitation of unlicensed disposal sites, purchasing of street litter bins and wheelie bins, piloting of co-ops in the provision of waste management service. We have, since the beginning of the current term of office, embarked on a meaningful engagement with our communities, not as a legislated exercise, but because we fully appreciate that we are a government of the people, for the people, and with the people. We have established new ward committees in all our wards to improve communication between the metro and communities. Ward committees play an important role in being a link between communities' needs and the metro planning processes, also to enhance participatory democracy in local government. There are a few outstanding wards who must complete the ward committee establishment process in order for the city to have a fully fledged ward committee system. Ward committees have since been inducted by COGTA from the 1st to the 3rd of March to help them understand the Constitution, ward committee structure, roles and responsibility of ward committees, and ward committee functioning in the municipal processes. Ward committee meetings are held monthly according to the schedule of meetings submitted by ward councillors to discuss service delivery issues concerning the ward development. Ward councillors are supposed to conduct public meetings quarterly, as they play a pivotal role in the work of ward committees, and also to report back to communities on issues that affect their wards. We have subsequently crisscrossed the length and breadth of our metro, convening mayoral imbizos, wherein we listen to the citizens themselves to hear from them on what they expect of the metro. This was also characterized by the city pledging its commitment to the citizens about our commitment to implement the promises we made during the 2016 local government elections. When all the meetings and consultations were done, as they should be, I convened a mayoral lekgotla over 3 days to develop a concrete program of action for the 2016-2021 term of office. On the 26th of August 2016, we convened an external rep forum with all our stakeholders with a view to share a roadmap and ideas on expediting development in Buffalo City Metro. Another meeting was held on the 30th of March to present the draft ITP and 2017-18 medium-term revenue expenditure framework budget before commencement of public consultation process. From the 18th of April to the 12th of May, we embarked on a citywide consultation process to present the draft IDP and budget and to solicit inputs on BCMM's development trajectory from communities, organized business, and traditional leadership. Inputs received confirmed that we are on the right track in terms of our developmental trajectory. On the 16th of May 2017, we hosted various stakeholders to provide feedback on the public consultation processes and shared plan programs through the Council Open Day. The Metro, through its twinning with the city of Gävle, Sweden, has a 3-year youth engagement project, 2016 to 2018, which is titled Youth Are Included in Local Government Processes. The project entered into its second year in 2017 and emanates from the fact that both municipalities have high numbers of young people who do not participate within society, in the education system, the economy, and local government processes. The draft Buffalo City Metro Child and Youth Development Strategy 2017 is on its way to Council and is a review of the current youth strategy, as well as now incorporating the child. The strategy acknowledges the interconnectedness and transition of childhood to youth and the nuances of these two target groups, which need to be considered for the purpose of specific targeted interventions between 0 to 35 years. 2 of our students, Tabile Manenza and Dando Poti, are on their way to China on an exchange program that we have with the city of Jinhua in China. So this is part of our international engagements. Our child and youth development strategy has 7 strategic areas of focus. The first are aligned to the strategic pillars contained in both National Youth Policy 2020, the Provincial Youth Strategy 2015. The 7 strategic areas of focus is dedicated solely to improve childhood development in alignment with the National Integrated Early Childhood Development Policy 2015 and the Eastern Cape Integrated Strategy for Early Childhood Development 2014. The Metro will pilot a youth-friendly and innovative cell phone application for better communication with youth. Greater emphasis on child and youth development mainstreaming within the Metro IDP and performance management framework. The Metro 3 youth development centers continue to provide a very necessary and empowering service to young people through access to computer labs, free Wi-Fi, career guidance, and entrepreneurism. A total of 36 young people were awarded bursaries through the Buffalo City Metro Municipality Bursary Fund for academic year 2017 on the 15th of February 2017. Beneficiaries are enrolled in the following fields of study: information technology, finance, agriculture, planning and development, as well as engineering. 9 beneficiaries from academic year 2016 will be graduating in May 2017. Since inception of the Bursary Fund in 2008, 40 beneficiaries have graduated. Currently, 7 are interns in our city, and 3 have been employed full-time by Buffalo City Metro. The Bursary Fund is an annual multi-year project and will be advertised in October 2017 for the next academic year, 2018. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, our city has approved a 3-year partnership to support the Invest Buffalo City project, which is a joint initiative with the business sector and key stakeholders to promote the city as a premier investment destination. Some of the highlights of Invest Buffalo City include the packaging of promotional videos from locally based companies who act as ambassadors for the city and share their success stories online. This, on the one hand, also improves awareness about the metro and its potential. We have also hosted our inaugural investment roundtable where major investors and stakeholders shared their investment and expansion plans and articulated the support required from government. Joint lobbying continues for key infrastructure, including the deepening of the Port of East London to upgrade the rail between Gauteng and East London. We have joined forces with the Department of Trade and Industry during 2016-17 financial year to raise awareness about incentives and their uptake in the metro. Other workshops focus on aspirant and emerging exporters and sought to provide more awareness about export markets. Buffalo City has registered its support for the revitalization of Timbaza industrial area, with the primary focus being agro-processing and light manufacturing. In the new financial year, the Metro will explore the possibility of improving the cost of doing business, including the introduction of investment incentives to retain and attract new investment, improve turnaround times, collaboration on innovation and skills development. Will also support the revitalization of industrial parks throughout the city. Honorable Speaker of Council, allow me to announce that in the 2016-17 financial year, the turnover for Buffalo City Fresh Produce Market increased by 9.5% when compared to percentage in 2015-16. The market is currently ranked as number 4 out of 18 national fresh produce markets in terms of turnover. The major composition of buyers still remain as informal traders and hawkers, wherein the highest contributors in turnover remain wholesalers. Transformation and economic empowerment, however, still remain a challenge as the market agents and the wholesalers do not have HDI component. In 2015, the Department of Agriculture, Forest and Fisheries published the codes of best practices for national fresh produce markets as it pertained to market managers, market agents, producers, labor and service providers. This project, known as Project Rebirth, ultimately aims to ensure that markets are assisted, equipped and empowered as platforms of excellence to provide and supply quality fresh produce to the fresh produce value chain as a whole. Project Rebirth for the Buffalo City Fresh Produce Market was initiated during 2016 with a mutual decision that Tshwane Fresh Produce Market would assist through mentorship and coaching to restore the market to its former glory. Senior officials from Tshwane are in the process of providing assistance to the market on an ongoing consultative basis. Our market has since completed a new draft bylaw which will be subjected to public participation process and promulgated into law in the new financial year. In 2017 financial year, the market intends to conduct a feasibility study that will inform expansion into a fresh produce and food distribution center. This will be done through the development of a master plan and a draft specification that have completed for acquiring professional consultants in this regard. We also intend to invest in energy efficiencies through installation of solar panels so that we assist in reducing electricity consumption in the market. Other projects to be implemented in the current financial year would be the upgrading of cold rooms at Fresh Produce Market, install energy-efficient solar panels with wind turbines, constructions of pallet zones in market, upgrading of the hall, developing a master plan for Fresh Produce Market. Future packaging opportunities still exist around waste economy, which could benefit local co-ops that are in the recycling and composting. Strong partnerships, mentorship, and support program will be critical success factors for any such ventures. The informal sector policy will be finalized and the clear strategy developed for informal sector in the metro, centralization of informal traders in major central business districts, coupled with the provision of infrastructure. We'll review the strategy of SMME, continued upgrade of Bushlanti, increased support towards incubation and entrepreneurship development. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, it was during the inaugural mayoral Lekgotla in October 2016 that I first invoked Luke 12, verse 48, Mfundisi, which says, I quote, "To whom much is given, much will be required," end quote. I quoted this precisely because it resonates with the tasks of public office bearers who serve at the behest of the people. It further cements the need for accountability in the exercise of public power. We have an obligation to resolve the triple challenge of unemployment, inequality, and poverty. To this end, as part of the infrastructure program, we have created 22,000 temporary jobs as part of the EPWP program by the end of May 2017, with a salary bill of over 8.5 million. The majority of people employed in these projects are young people. The major projects and communities that have benefited include the following: upgrading of the Mtanzane gravel roads to surface standards, cluster 2, with 827 jobs, upgrading of Mtanzane gravel roads to surface standard, cluster 3, with 798 jobs, rehabilitation of Lee Street with 962 jobs, construction of concrete road east of Galsway Road, 345 jobs, electrification of Mtanzane buffer strip, 339 jobs, King Williamstown public transport facilities upgrade, 316 jobs, inland sanitation backlog eradication in various wards, VIP toilets, Kwampunde, Manko, Kwaqongqothe, Echape, Postame, Good Hope, Elxolweni, Echapo 1, Echolomnqa, etc., 232. Meter replacement, 785. Dangen ablution blocks, 2,656. Mtanzane ablution blocks, 1,360 jobs. On the other hand, the Metro has also created 1,771 permanent jobs and short-term jobs through its tourism events program, upgrading of the Fresh Produce Market, agriculture and rural development programs as at the end of the third quarter of 2016-17. Ongoing support is being provided to ensure the agricultural initiatives become sustainable and expand their footprint from servicing local to foreign markets. This verse, Mfundisi, further states, I quote, "But he that knows not did not commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with a few stripes. For whomsoever much is given of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask. End quote. In the beginning of this address, I reminded you all that this year marks what would have been the centenary birthday of our late President O.R. Tambo, and as such withdraw largely from his many teachings he has left for us. It is thus befitting that I close this address with one of his most famous quotes as we commemorate the 41 years since the June 1976 uprising, when O.R. Tambo said, I quote, "The children of any nation are its future. A country, a movement, a person that does not value its youth and children does not deserve its future." End quote. In Angola, in 1987, President Oliver Reginald Tambo remarked, I quote, "Comrades, you might think it is very difficult to wage a liberation struggle. Wait until you are in power. I might be dead by then. At that stage, you will realize that it is actually more difficult to keep the power than to wage a liberation war. People will be expecting a lot of services from you. You will have to satisfy the various demands of the masses of our people. In the process, be prepared to learn from the enemy also. The enemy is not necessarily doing everything wrongly. You may take his right tactics and use them to your advantage. At the same time, avoid repeating the enemy's mistake." End quote. We need to take advice from the prophetic observations and remarks by our late president and commit to always being humble servants of the people. Let us take this moment to all stand up and observe a moment of silence dedicated to women and children that have been so violently murdered at the hands of heartless criminals who walk among ourselves. And let us say we will double our efforts in isolating such elements from our communities. Let peace be upon us. Let us unite in protecting the elderly and the vulnerable. Let us say enough is enough. Unity in action, a city heart at work. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I did not command you to clap. Now it's my time to say to you, having listened to this remarkable State of the Metro address, can we give the Honorable Executive Mayor another round of applause? You must remember I said you can be seated. Now, you must remember I did say at the beginning that in this program there are rules of the game, that you must obey my command all the time. So But thank you very much, Executive Mayor. I forgot to tell you that for him, this is a maiden State of the Metro address. Thank you very much. Into niphansi undiphoxa apha kaloku xa nimenyiwe funeka nithobele umthetho. Nimthobele lo mntu unimemileyo ninyamezele. But thank you very much. Khange nindisappointe kakhulu. Some of my leaders down there bebesithi xa ungathi kuyangxolwa noko sikwazi umanejana. But thank you so much. I know for a fact that we do share diverse interests on the issues being raised. Abanye kuthiwa xa kuthethwa nge-CCTV babe newari ngoba basoloko bephelwandle bazawubhaqwa ngoku bangxole xa kuthethwa nge-CCTV. Abanye xa kuthethwa nge-co-ops bathi hayi umeya uyasilibaza thina sifuna ezingathi zinkulu ibhiziness. I-co-ops zezabantu basakhasayo benza noise. But anyway, thank you so much. I think at now we are able to understand the vision of Buffalo City. Where do we want to go? How do we want to go there? What are the challenges and obstacles on our way? How do we want to tackle those obstacles in order to achieve our long-term goals? What is it that we are doing now? I think the Executive Mayor have shared all that information. What we are doing, where, and when, what we intend to do going forward. At least we do have a sense. Now, we will be allowing political parties to debate the state of the Metro address. And we'll do so next week in the council meeting. Political parties will be allowed a platform to reflect on the state of the Metro address. Now, as I will be inviting the Chief Whip of the Council, I will request the entertainment from Sive Dumbisa, Sive Dumbisa, to please come forward and entertain us, and we thereafter request the Honorable Chief Whip of the Council, Councillor Vaibom, to do the vote of thanks.
News. There would be no day hide in the cloud. If I'd be your star, if I'd be your star. Let me be your star. Let me be your star. I'll be your star. I'll be your star. ebomini bakho jonga phezulu mama ubone mna ikhazile I am your star. Oh, agumnyame bomini bakho jonga phezulu mama ubone mna ikhazile I am your star. Let me be your star. Ungoyiki. Let me be your star. Uzungasabi. I'll be your star. Uzungoyiki. I'll be your star. When days are dark, friends are few, but I'll be your star. Seningoyiki, I'll be your star. Let me be your star. Sungoyiki. Let me be your star. Seningasabi. I'll be your star. Sungoyiki. I'll be your star. Oh, nagumnyame bomini bakho jonga phezulu mama ubone mna ngiqhakazile I am your star. Let me be your star. Sungoyiki. Let me be your star. Uzungasabi. I'll be your star. Uzungoyiki. I'll be your star. Enkosi.
Well, thank you very much. As I call upon the Chief Whip, just 3 important announcements. Kunabantu that we forgot to mention, there are 3 of them. Or let me start with the Democratic Alliance. All councillors of the Democratic Alliance are here, except those who have tendered apologies. All of them are present. I wanted to correct that. Secondly, in our midst, we have Bcmm Sports Council. I'm sure they are jealous. When we spoke about Cheaper United, then they came. Mr. Pishoti is here. May I also indicate that amongst us, I don't know, Councillor Noheke, why is his name in the list here? Lastly, we have amongst us the International Boxing Organization, junior bantamweight, am I right? Junior bantamweight champion amongst us. Uzolani, the last born, Tete. He is not alone. He is accompanied by his manager, Mr. Tengimfene. You are welcome. Thank you very much. You are a good example amongst our youth. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Over to you, Chief Whip.
Thank you. Thank you, Program Director. Louise. 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 And Kathela kwisizwe samaRharhabe. Ukuthi masiqale ngaso phambi ba sithethe. Sibulisa kwinkokheli ezikhokelwa nguPremier wethu. Nazo zonke inkokheli ezisuka kurhulumente wephondo, Executive Mayor, Deputy Executive Mayor, Speaker, and fellow councillors. Nabantu bonke abachaziweyo apha, ndingatyanga xesha mandibulise kubo. Okwam kukwenza nje umbulelo. We give thanks to the Executive Mayor, Councillor Xola Phakathi, for the State of Metro address which he delivered to this gathering today. The address highlighted the Metro achievement and what is planned for the future. Also allow me on behalf of the council leadership to give thanks to our guests and citizens of this beautiful metropolitan for gracing this gathering, hoping and believing that we will work together to achieve more for better societies. Indeed, your presence is cementing our call. Let us build people's power in every community. Local government is in your hands. I further give thanks to our administration for the wonderful work done, for the success we have made as the city. Indeed, it is your scope of work to give the technical support to the council, more especially to ward councillors who are at the forefront of service delivery. Lastly, allow me to say big thank to our individual families for supporting us on this type of work we are doing as councillors. Sibonile umzekelo apho uhleli yedwa uzikhala. Ne-councillors, xesha elininzi was spending more time without our families, but with our community. Once again, we give thank you to you, our families, to supporting us. I am thanking you, Program Director, Councillor Alfred Mtsi, for leading and directing us well during this gathering. Let me end this vote of thanks by quoting Mahatma Gandhi. I quote, "I suppose leadership at one time meant muscles, but today it means getting along with people," end quote. Sinibulela ngokuza kwenu, siqinisekile ukuthi sakusebenzisana nani sakhe isizwe esihle, isizwe esithobeleneyo phansi kwalo masipala uMbaxa. Ngaphandleni kwenu kuba umasipala unemilenze emithathu. Unathi thina as politicians, unamagosa, unani njengabahlali. Ubana ngabasebenzi sonke ngeke sikwazi ubheka phambili. Ngalo mazwi ndithi kuni nonke nobathathu njengoba sendinibalile. Amandla. 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 Nkosi.
Well, thank you very much, Chief Whip. We have now come to the end of the business of the day. But before we can move any further, we will be inviting an entertainment from Kelly Hiles. But before that, as they are coming along, the city manager is going to make some few announcements, and then I will disappear from the stage immediately.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Executive Mayor, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. imipoposho endiza kuyenza ime ngolu hlobo kuba sisonke apha siyalingana kodwa ke kufuneka sihlale ngeendawo ngoba nasebuhlanti nasezindlini amaxhego ahlala ngapha oomama bahlale ngapha ulutsha lihlale kweyawo indlu phayana njalo njalo asizoyilahla ke loo nto kuba ke silapha sisedolophini ndiza kwenza ke ingxelo nje ukubana ii-VVIPs zizabe ziphayana kulaa mnyango ngapha ubhaliwe sithetha ntoni xa sithi ke VVIPs sitsho ukuthi upremier no-MEC no-executive mayor no-deputy executive mayor no-speaker no-chief whip no-deputy chairperson we-traditional leaders no-deputy chairperson wase-legislature bazawuba ngaphaya kuzawuqale kuphume bona baphume ngapha baye khona ze kuthi apha ikhona iroom apha kawujikele ngapha ungene ezitepsini ii-members ze-mayoral committee zizabe ziphaya ii-MPs ezikhoyo nee-MPLs ezikhoyo zizabe zikhona phayana ikhona indaba nabo abayilungiselelweyo ngaphaya nookhansila bazabe bephaa ze kuthi ke thina ke mgwenye sizabe sikhona sihleli apha nazi iindawo zethu siphakame mandibulele enkosi kakhulu.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Thank you so much for your patience today. I know that as you're sitting here, you're feeling like perhaps the blood isn't flowing so well. Please could you have some music, maestro? So please feel free to jump up, clap your hands, shake what your mama gave you. Because you know this song and we know how good football is for this town. And when we get to the words, this time for Africa, I want you to sing this time for Buffalo, this time for Buffalo City. Feel free to get up because it's almost lunchtime and you need that energy to start flowing. You're a good soldier, choosing your battles. Pick yourself up, dust yourself up, get back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. We know it's serious, this isn't over, we're getting closer. The pressure's on, you feel it, but you got it all, believe it. You get down, gotta go, you get down, gotta pay. This time for Buffalo, waka waka, this time for Buffalo. I see the ladies are taking it absolutely seriously today. They are saying, Buffalo City, I am here for you, and you are here for me. Beautiful, beautiful. This time for Buffalo. Listen to your God. This is our motto. Your time to shine. Don't wait in line. Vamos por todo. People are raising their expectations. Go on and feel it. This is your moment. No hesitation. You paved the way. Believe it. Today's the day. I can feel it. You get down and up. You get down and up. Hey. This time for Buffalo. Waka waka, this time for Buffalo. I Johnny, biggie mama from there to Z. I just did it on the Johnny, biggie mama from east to west. I tell waka waka my waka waka my Donkey D's with Mazzy Booyah. This time for Buffalo. This time for Buffalo, Jungle, Jungle, this time for Buffalo, Jungle. joining the queue for lunch, but these ladies are here to say, I'm having a good time today. Thank you very much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure being here today and to learn all about the amazing things that are in store for our wonderful city. Thank you.
Thank you.